Don't forget to subscribe!
Hey guys, this is Machi, and this video is for Mina Vita's 22 Vels all the way from Bailey Sandbacken and Rachel Kelly. This is for you. So let's get started. I did my best.
Stop!
Nintendo!
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Princess Lifeline, and this is my partner Pikachu. Call me Coco. I am the mermaid princess of the South Pacific Ocean. My name is Karen. I am the mermaid princess of the Antarctic Ocean. My name is Noelle, and I am the mermaid princess of the Arctic Ocean. I am the pretty Agarian who fights for love and for courage. I am Sailor Jupiter. I'll feel you regret. It'll leave you numb. My name is Sarasa. I am Ichi's sister. Hey, don't forget about me. I'm Roka, and I am Sarasa's sister-in-law. My name is Kisosoma. The animal in the zodiac that I symbolize is the tiger. Call me Hirosoma. The animal that symbolizes the zodiac is the sheep, and that is me. A fine pleasure to meet you. My name is Kotoko. My name is Amu Hinamori. I can transform into Amulet Heart, Amulet Spade, Amulet Clover, Amulet Diamond, Amulet Angel, Amulet Devil, and Amulet Fortune. Hello, my name is Plutia. I can transform into Iris Heart. My name is Vert. I can transform into Green Heart. I am Nico Robin, a treasure hunter. Pleasure to meet you.
My name is Kami.
I am Ochako Uraka.
Let's go! Hey! Nice to meet you!
Call me Nejire Haro. I am Itsuka Kendo. Pleasure to meet you. What's up? I'm Black Star. Hi there, it's Tina. I'm Nozomi. It's a pleasure to meet you. Call me Mavis. I'm pleased to meet you. I am the head of the Furude family, Rika Furude. I am Kaname Chidori. It's a pleasure. My name is Hestia. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hi there, I'm Machi. Nice to meet you. I am called Rula. Be grateful, I'm not giving you any punishment. I am La Pucelle. Pleased to meet you. You can call me Sister Nana. Nice to meet you. I'm Ripple. Great to meet you. My name is Snow White. Pleasure to meet you. About us, I'm Nagisa 1. And I'm Nagisa 2. Sup, I'm Boruto. It's a pleasure. My name is Hikaru Shido. I represent the element of fire. My name is Fuhoji, and I represent the element of wind. I'm Umi Ryuzaki, and I represent the element of water. Hi, I'm Happy. I'm an exceed from Extalia, and a member of the Fairy Tale Guild. Good day, I'm Carla. I am an exceed as well, and we are also in the Fairy Tale Guild. Hey there, I'm Wendy Marble. I'm a Sky Dragon Slayer. My name is Romeo Combolt. I'm the only son of Fairy Tale's mage, Makiko Combolt, and I'm a mage of the Fairy Tale Guild. I'm Hanon Hosho. I am the mermaid princess of the South Atlantic Ocean. Glad to meet you. I'm Rina Toyne, and I am the princess of the North Atlantic Ocean. Hiya, I'm Manatsu. It's a pleasure. Hi, I'm Ari. Nice to meet you. Call me Pony Sumotori. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Denki, and I'm the handsome one. I am Xiaomei. It's a pleasure. Hello, I'm Jen. Hey, I'm Julia. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Nayuki. Nice to meet you. I'm Hanyu Fernande. And I'm Ayu Tsukimiya. Nice to meet you. My name is Lekus Klein, everyone. And this is my friend Haro. Ada, that's you too. I am glad to make your acquaintance. I am Sarada. My name is Kotome Ichinose. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll promise to do my best on my violin. I am Yukine. Nice to meet you. I am Pikachu Popstar. My songs will reach out to all of you. Pikachu PhD is in the house. My prescription? Knockout. Hi, I'm Rena Ryugu. You look so cute. I want to take you home with me. I am called Alpha 5. It is a great pleasure to make your acquaintance. They often call me Sayuri. Nice to meet you. I am Kaori. Please don't upset me. Futaba Sakura here. Nice to meet you. I'm Taletha. Nice to meet you. I am Melissa Shield. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And I am Jasmine, leader of the Elvine City Gym. Pleased to meet you. Hey there, I'm Taru Hagakure, the Invisible Girl. Let's get this thing started.
Last time we did a very long review on Glitter Force Doki Doki, or Doki Doki Pretty Cure. Now it's time to remove an anime for Foxbox's recent 20th anniversary, Kirby Right Back at Ya! Released in 2001 while Melee was in development, and a year later by former film and TV production company 4Kids Entertainment, and it ended in December 2006 in the West. And 2003, after Sakurai left a HAL Laboratory, Right Back at Ya was a collab between Warpstar Incorporated, a company created by Nintendo and HAL Laboratory, and produced by Studio Common and Yoichi Kotabe, who was the character designer of Super Mario and a good friend to Shigeru Miyamoto, who is the creative fellow of Nintendo and animation supervisor on Pokemon the series, the beginning all the way through Pokemon the series Sun and Moon. The anime is regarded as one of 4Kids Entertainment's best anime, which is not Pokemon the series, and it is considered the best alongside Sonic X, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003, and Winx Club, similar to the average F-Zero, GP Legend, and Mew Mew Power. This anime ran for 100 episodes with the movie right to the finish, and we're here to discuss if this movie or series is good or deserves to be thrown in the Snyder trash. So, this is our review of Kirby Right Back at Ya! Let's start with the backstory before we even get to the plot. Star Warriors are a group of characters which are heroes who fought against enemy and its monster armies in the Great War, thousands of years ago before the actual events in the anime. You might have noticed in Meta Knight's flashbacks that several episodes revealed that the Star Warriors lost the struggle against enemy, and that he was the only surviving Star Warrior veteran from before the Great War. However, Kid Cosmos was found to be alive in the episode Island of the Lost Warrior, and much later on, Sir Arthur and his band of knights later revealed themselves. It is not known whether Star Warrior is given a title, or a title the members give among themselves, but among surviving Star Warriors during the events of the anime, Kirby and Meta Knight are the most well known. But despite Kirby's age and inexperience, Cabo already refers to him as one before he even lands on planet Popstar. So it is possible that Star Warrior is something a character is born into. Alternatively, it could be Kabu's recognition. It is unlikely to be hereditary at all, since Knuckle Joe's father is a Star Warrior, but Knuckle Joe himself is not. And now, let's start with the beginning. A night on planet Popstar is seen, and all of the shades are sleeping peacefully. However, a giant octopus named Octagon appears and eats them all in a matter of seconds. And the sheep farmer hears the ruckus and runs outside, and he was shocked at the sight of the herd's bones being flung at him, and the massive octopus then flies away and into Castle DDD. And meanwhile in space, a starship is flying by. Inside of it is the young Kirby, sleeping soundly. However, the starship detects the presence of a monster on planet Popstar and goes to warp mode. Alarming our pink hero. Kirby awakens and wonders what is going on, just as the starship automatically encloses him within the cockpit, preparing to jump into hyperspace. The star then warps through space toward the Popstar's star system. When it comes to a stop, Kirby sees a strange light, the glow of the fabled planet, much to Kirby's amazement. In King Dedede's castle, Escargon is neglecting the presence of the monster in Dreamland toward a mob of Cappies within the king's throne room. A Cappy informs Escargon that there really is a monster, which is big and scary and eats everything in sight, taking a golden spear from a Waddle Dee. Escargon smacks the villager with it and sarcastically exclaims, "That's King Dedede!" trying to drive them out of the castle in a hurry. Tiff and Tuff, along with their parents, accuse Escargon of lying to the villagers, and the two parents start to agree that a monster is likely something that Dedede would want. And just when Escargon yells to the family to remember their place in society, the portly king, who is sitting nearby eating his dinner, starts laughing and shows at its head, Octagon in its small form. and it doesn't believe it could be a huge monster, but only Tiff suspects it, especially as it glares back at her with luminous green eyes. In Kabu Canyon, all of the villagers gather and seek advice from Kabu. He tells the villagers about the monsters who had started living on Popstar, that it was Didi's, and it came from someone far more powerful than him, and that their land will be destroyed. They then remember the legend of the Star Warrior named Kirby of the Stars comes to help them. Didi and Escargoon drive in, suspecting Kabu knows the truth and intends to shoot at Kabu, predicting Didi won't when a bright light occurs and something falls from the skies over Dreamland. Kirby, who was awakened 200 years before the schedule, hasn't matured yet and doesn't know how to properly control a ship. Therefore, he crashes lands into the mayor's sheep farm, and villagers gather around Kirby's ruined spaceship in curiosity. It opens when a pink ball falls from inside, alarming the crowd at Cappy. Kirby knows his name when Tiff mentions it, making sure that he is the legendary Star Warrior who came to help. Learning that the mighty Star Warrior is merely a pink marshmallow, Tiff, Tuff, her mother and father stand in shock at the sight of Kirby, who stands in his iconic happy pose. Didi doesn't want that someone to defeat his monster and intensely hits Kirby with his mallet, sending him flying into a cannon, to the regret of the Cappy. So, Tiff and Tuff ventured into the canyon and try to save Kirby, who hastily rests at an edge. Suddenly, a loose rock breaks under Tiff's foot and she falls down. Kirby, hearing her scream, pops up and quickly floats to Tiff, saving her from being impaled by a stalagmite at the bottom of the canyon. Tuff, Fololo, and Falala are highly impressed. Tiff, on the other hand, who is not impressed, says the warriors are big and strong, not pink and puffy. Kirby merrily skips to a hill where he can see Cappy Town for the first time. The children follow him. Kirby clumsily bumps into Tiff, who snobbishly brushes up her hair and introduces herself. Kirby repeats her name, much to her surprise. Tuff introduces himself as well as Fololo and Falala. Suddenly, Didi and Escargoon come in at high speeds and start shooting at Kirby, who runs off. Now knowing who Didi truly is, Kirby gets hit with a lucky shot and is sent flying into the midst of a watermelon patch. When he lands to the watermelon field, Didi pursues him with Escargoon, but Tiff and Tuff throw watermelons in their faces, halting the pursuit. Tiff, seemingly changed, defends Kirby from the king's intentions, who uses his political status as king to defend himself. Escargoon whispers to Didi about something, presumably about Kirby's spaceship, and they drive away. Tiff and the others start looking for Kirby and find him eating watermelons, much to their surprise. In the evening, everybody gathers at Mayor Len Blustergad's house to have a dinner celebrating Kirby's arrival. After the mayor's celebration speech, an impatient Kirby inhales everything from the table, leaving all staring to nowhere. Tiff then gets angry at Kirby, who runs away childishly, and she, Tuff, Fololo, and Falala pursue Kirby to the sheep field, where every single sheep has been eaten. They suspect Kirby has eaten them and hide in a shed to interrogate an answer from him. Kirby doesn't know how to answer them and just stares at them and stands clueless. Tiff hears sounds from outside and instantly hides Kirby in a sack, with her and her brother blocking it from sight. Sword Knight and Blade Knight break into the shed, saying that they're looking for someone named Kirby. Tiff and Tuff said that they are too, but he isn't there. So Meta Knight senses that Kirby is in the sack and steps right in. As Sword and Blade make way, he pulls out his sacred sword, Galaxia, and swipes the sack off. When he sees Kirby, he gets the first connection with the Star Warrior since the Great War against Enemy, just as Meta Knight hops out the shack. Before departing, however, Meta Knight makes clear in response to Tiff begging him not to give Kirby's position over to Didi, that King Didi will not be an issue for the time being. He also confirms that Kirby is not the monster responsible for the sheep being devoured. Everyone steps up to hear explosions from the castle, and Kirby notices that explosions are coming from his starship and starts running towards the castle, where Didi and Escargoon are investigating the starship, with the latter being tasked with repairing it. Didi suddenly notices some kind of box inside the machine, curiously taking it and opening it. Instead, Inside they find Kirby's power source, the Warp Star, which shines brightly. DDD selfishly takes it as a decoration and he just walks off. So as Cargoon starts to become jealous and he says that he's bleeding before seeing Kirby and screaming in alarm. Kirby instantly notices that his Warp Star has been taken and he pursues DDD, who is now impatient, and he now complains to the enemy sales guy that the monster he ordered, Octagoon, is a shrimp instead of an octopus. So the sales guy explains to give it some time and he will grow on him. So when DDD goes to check on Octagoon again, he is revengefully hypnotized by him and he starts to chase Kirby, who enters the throne room with his hammer. Kirby is walloped by the king multiple times, in which he has no way of defending himself against DDD, and he angrily crashes into a pillar, dropping the stolen Warp Star. Just as Tiff and her family enter the room, curious of all the hubbub, while Tiff and Tuff are staring at the odd star, Meta Knight saves her from a falling pillar, and Tiff realizes that Meta Knight is on their side. Then they notice Octagon, who, far from being a tiny octopus, is now gargantuan with darker skin, with the group realizing that Octagon is a monster that ate the sheep earlier. So King DDD comes to his senses just in time to see Octagon grow huge and exclaiming, "Holy calamari!" and demanding that the overgrown appetizer returns to its tank before ordering for Escargot to contact the enemy sales guy and fetch his pocketbook so he could demand a refund for the monster. So Octagon starts to grow rapidly until he is half the size of the castle. He starts to destroy the castle and chase after Tip, Top, and Kirby. And the massive octopus summons small versions of himself to attack the trio, as he has lost sight of them throughout the castle. Kirby is attacked by the little, much more agile octopi and he starts to turn gray. As a sign that he's losing power, Meta Knight realizes that Tip has a Warp Star and tells her that it is the source of Kirby's power, to which Tip darts off. Kirby runs away from the Octagon minions to catch one up the stairwell, with Tip following him as a separate route up the castle. Kirby is surrounded by the octopi as he reaches the balcony, but luckily Tip appears with a Warp Star, causing Kirby to regain power as well as vigor. With his newly regained power, Kirby manages to suck up all the mini octopi. Octagon then summons many more octopi, but this time they're on fire. Kirby takes out the first batch using fancy footwork, which is odd, since he lacks the fighter copy ability, and Octagon summons more, but Kirby sucks them up, this time granting him the fire copy ability. Meta Knight then explains to Tip and Tuff that Kirby can copy an enemy's attack just by inhaling it. Octagon then spews fire at Kirby, but this proves worthless as Kirby just sucks it up, and Kirby spits the fire back to Octagon, causing him to catch on fire. Octagon grows even more, but Kirby darts behind him and spews a strong burst of flames from his mouth. Octagon struggles to hold on to the castle and is sent out of the planet's atmosphere by Kirby, presumably killing him. The heroes celebrate a victory against the giant beast while King DDD bemoans of losing his refund. And it turns out Kirby's starship is fixed, and as he was about to go home, Kirby is taking off into the air. DDD and Escargot blow out Kirby out of the sky using a plunger detonator linked to Kirby's starship, totaling the starcraft. Little did they know that Kirby's starship was right above them, and the ship falls on King DDD's tank, causing the both of them to explode. Kirby is knocked out of his ship and King DDD blames the whole thing on this Cargoon and he starts chasing with his hammer. Tiff then tells Kirby that he might be staying in Dreamland after all, and that he could stay with them. So Kirby becomes very pleased with this. And now we will go over Nightmare Enterprises. The company was created by Nightmare as a front of his army, as well as a way to make a profit and create an infrastructure to facilitate the training of his monsters. The company's main way of selling his products through the internet is a high-technique systems to transport anything they need as data. This process is very intensive and many other fees seem to stem from it. This system is very easy to have, as King DDD and Knuckle Joe have hacked into it multiple times. However, the top employee and public face of the company is the enemy sales guy, who heads sales and advertising. And most of the other employees are monsters as well. But they also hire people from the outside of the company at times. And the company uses many less than honest techniques. One strategy seems to be targeting the wealthy and gullible, like King Dedede himself, swindling them out of as much money as possible, then launching an attack to destroy and capture whatever is left.
Before we go over the characters and the personality, let's quickly talk about Sakurai's involvement. As you may have noticed, Sakurai was involved with the anime being part of it, including the lead president, Satoru Iwata, and Sakurai gave the team guidelines that there would be no humans in Popstar and limit Kirby's ability to speak. This is the reason why Poyo is a stock phrase, as if he was a Pokemon like Pikachu. You can learn more by going to TV tropes on Pokemon Speak. Isn't that right, Pikachu?
Pika!
Kirby is largely innocent and has a cheerful demeanor and positive attitude. He likes to help other people so much that he sometimes goes out of his way to do it. Tiff is best known for her intelligence and short temper. She loves to read, learn, and teach. Her favorite subject is marine biology, and she has a large collection of seashells. She also enjoys archaeology. And, unlike the other children, Tiff is not always seen as very playful or childish, and she is also portrayed as a very independent character. Toph, on the other hand, is a rowdy and mischievous young boy who has a good heart, but not so much in the way of intellect to go with it. He loves to play games like soccer and do outdoor activity, and he loves to pull pranks. And sometimes his pranks can cause trouble for the people of his village as well. Toph lives for having fun, and he doesn't take many things seriously. However, he often falls the victim to Dedede's plot like many others in Dreamland thanks to that. Now, King Dedede is a lazy, greedy, selfish king who often has little interest in rolling and loves food. Pretty much of a glutton, to be exact. Escargoon has two distinct sides to his personality. There is the part of him that helps Dedede with his schemes and tricks, but seems to have a generally nice side to him that only appears in extreme situations. Unlike most of the other residents of Happy Town, he does not dislike King Dedede, though the latter often whacks him with a mallet. Meta Knight respects the code of chivalry, and almost always offers Kirby a sword whenever he fights against him. He is a fierce and skilled swordsman, as well as a solitary and stoic character. He is often seen alone, but is sometimes unclear to us what he is feeling or what his motives are. The enemy sales guy arguably holds the second most important role in the company, and is responsible for bringing in the money, and he treats his boss, Enemy, with utmost loyalty and respect. So Enemy is the strongest and most powerful villain of the Kirby anime, and he possesses far greater abilities than any of the monsters that Kirby fights. And he can fly at high speed and is fast to outrun Meta Knight's aircraft, and he can outrun an army of monsters with his chessboard, and can manipulate other people's minds, and can even conjure and launch small red-colored energy balls from his fingers. When Nightmare is summoned in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U and Ultimate, he appears in his Power Orb form, and he flies off screen before transforming into his wizard form and moving towards the foreground, causing the stage on which the fighters are battling to become dark, completely reducing visibility, and it makes it pretty difficult to fight your opponent. It's about time we head into the spoilers now.
Ah, spoiler alert!
The Halberd is trying to fire its missiles against Nightmare, but it's useless as he is immune to them. The ship turns back to the gate on its closing state. The Halberd doesn't reach in time and it turns back, while being attacked by lasers and lands in the inferior wall. So King Dedede and Escargoon order Kirby to get out of the Halberd and prove that he's a real Star Warrior. But Tiff and Toph disagree with them and instead tell them. So Kirby, however, decides to go with Dedede's request and goes for the ship's exit. As he does, a group of air riders attacks the Halberd, and as he was trying to get Kirby away from the missiles, Kirby inhales them and becomes Bomb Kirby. He snatches a winged star from one of the riders and throws bombs at a laser shooting machine, making it blow up.
King DDD and his Cargoon are contacted by customer service and are hypnotized by Nightmare. And they take away Tiff to an elevator, and Kirby notices and chases after them. Chief Bookham gives Meta Knight DDD's phone, which was dropped while he was possessed. As Kirby goes to save Tiff, he notices more air riders, but this time with flamethrowers. So Kirby inhales the flames from one of them and becomes Fire Kirby. He breathes fire against the air riders to knock them out, but after doing so, he realizes that he got distracted and lost Tiff along with DDD and his Cargoon. Back on the Halberd, they used the cell phone to know where the signal was coming from, and after scan they find out it's the control command center of the fortress. Chef Kawasaki suggests to place a bomb there to blow up the fortress, and Tokori says that Kawasaki should put it since he thought of it. Kit Cosmos comes along to provide backup support. DDD and Escargon arrive in the room where they see the enemy sales guy and throw Tiff on the floor, and Escargon makes a statement that they had never actually seen him in person. So, the enemy sales guy turns his chair around and reveals himself to be quite short, and because of it, Nightmare grabs Tiff. Kit Cosmos, Kawasaki, and Tokori are seen with bombs riding an elevator to the command center. Tokori notices Nightmare and Tiff. Kirby notices and chases after them. Tiff begs Kirby not to follow her since this is a trap, but he doesn't listen. Nightmare threatens her that Kirby is about to face his worst nightmare. As the enemy sales guy watches, he thanks DDD and Escargon for helping him to make Kirby fall into Nightmare's trap. The two complain about not having refreshments, so DDD goes up to the intercom to ask Chef Kawasaki to make him some food and quick. Chef Kawasaki arrives just right after he said that, and DDD starts chowing down the food, which is the first dish he likes from Kawasaki, and then he shoves some into the enemy salesman's mouth as revenge towards customer service. So Tokori starts the bomb's timer. So Nightmare sets up a trap for Kirby by placing him in where he creates monsters, which seamlessly looks like a checkerboard. And as Fire Kirby, he attacks Nightmare. Nightmare is immune to Kirby's attack. Knuckle Joe, Sarika, and Sir Arthur take down to destroy it, but they miss 3. They inform Meta Knight about it, and the destroyers destroy the Halberd while everyone on it leaves. Kawasaki, Tokori, and Kit Cosmos come back and question why they aren't on the ship. After being told it was destroyed, Meta Knight suggests that they should go to the monster delivery system to deliver them home, saying that it's close to the place where they planted the bomb. After starting to get tired, Kirby falls asleep and Nightmare enters his dream along with Tiff. Nightmare laughs when he enters Kirby's dream, stating that all Kirby thinks about is food. Tiff tries to call the Warp Star, but Nightmare informs her that they are in a dream. It does not exist. However, Tiff reveals the Warp Star is in her pocket and throws it at Kirby, who swallows it. Nightmare is surprised by the action. As a result, Kirby summons the Star Rod and envelops Nightmare in a tornado of dream stars. Nightmare clutches in pain, wondering how someone like Kirby was able to discover his weakness. And the 3 are ejected out of their dream, and Nightmare dissipates into nothingness, and Tiff congratulates Kirby for defeating Nightmare when no one else could, and the 2 decide to head back to the Halberd. And the 2 later meet up with the rest of the crew, and are informed that the Halberd was destroyed, so they're heading back to the command center to use its teleporter to get back home. When the group enters, DDD and Escargon and the enemy sales guy wonder what happened. As they are informed, the enemy sales guy panics and runs out of the room, and the group loads themselves into the teleporter, as Sword and Blade set the coordinates and hop in. Just as before the bombs go off and destroy Nightmare's fortress in a series of spectacular explosions. Watching the fortress's final explosion, Sir Arthur and his knights, Knuckle Joe, and Sarika wish Kirby and his crew good luck on their escape. And back at the castle, Kiryu tries to repair the teleporter, but is unable to do so because he is missing one part. Sir Ibram and Ladylike show concern for the safety of their children. Waddle Doo tells Kiryu that he found the missing piece, and Kiryu quickly screws it in just seconds before the group arrives. The Cappies stare into the now-repaired Cappy Town as the sun starts to rise. However, DDD and Escargon are very upset that the castle is destroyed and that they can't call for monsters anymore. So Meta Knight walks over to DDD and hands him the phone, which delights DDD. However, when he opens it, there is no connection, and he becomes sad once more.
this time falling into a state of depression. The final scene is Tiff and Tuff stating that every day with Kirby will be an adventure.
Isn't that right, Kirby? Bye! Yeah!
Bye.
Bye!
The special episode begins in darkness with footsteps being heard and a button being pressed. Followed by the usual intro for the Kirby series, the camera pulls back to reveal it is being played on a small display by the enemy sales guy, who is conversing about Kirby with his master enemy. Thus, the exchange breaks the fourth wall, and they mention the video games and anime Kirby has starred in, as well as this episode being displayed in 3D. The two of them laugh and they discuss how to put a stop to his plans. In response, King Dedede and Escargot complain that they have a crisis on their hands. And Kirby is still running wild, and the sales guy apologizes and reveals their latest monster. A discounted price of 2 billion D-bills, Lobzilla, a diminutive lobster. So Dedede and Escargot express disappointment with the monster until he reveals his icy breath, freezing them both solid. The Lobzilla escapes into Cappy Town, but is soon pursued by Chef Kawasaki, who wishes to cook him into ravioli. When cornered, he retaliates with icy wind. The monster crosses by a small pond where Tuff, Honey, Ito, and Spikehead are catching lobsters, and freezing them as well. Later in the day, Tuff and Kawasaki describe him to Tiff if she drives Mayor Len's car. They conclude that it must be the work of Dedede, and they head toward Dedede Castle. Inside, Dedede angrily forces Lobzilla to go after Kirby, while Escargot lures Kirby into the castle using a strawberry shortcake on a remote-controlled car. The monster crosses paths with Kirby, identifies him as an enemy, and begins to attack him in various ways. And Dedede yells in a fit of rage over the ensuing destruction to his castle, and while this happens, Tiff and her friends catch up with Kirby in a panic. Tiff calls Kabu for the Warp Star. However, Lobzilla suddenly grows into a massive monster from which Kirby must escape. At first by running through the crumbling castle walls and then again. Tiff passes him a torch, allowing him to become Fire Kirby. But this proves ineffective as Lobzilla's frozen winds overpower him. And when Tuff readies another torch, Meta Knight stops him and explains that Lobzilla must be defeated with his own weapon. Enlightened, Tiff tells Kirby to suck up the baby lobsters as she nearly slips and falls. Kirby follows Tiff's advice and upon transforming, suddenly takes the form of a large humanoid dressed in traditional Japanese attire. Meta Knight explains that this is Kabuki Kirby, which Tiff describes as a ninja blessed with magical powers passed on from generations before. His humanoid form performs some kabuki poses before charging at Lobzilla head-on, balancing upon the Warp Star. When the monster prepares for another attack, Kirby returns to his usual shape, though still wearing Japanese clothing, and fires a laser that pierces the icy wing, causing the lobster to explode. Lobzilla's defeat results in the fried lobster raining down upon the castle, much to Chef Kawasaki's delight. Tiff, Tuff, and Kirby celebrate while King Dedede stalks at his 2 billion D-bill death. Escargot, holding a plate with soy sauce, advises the king to try some lobster, which cheers him up. In the final scene, Kabuki Kirby, Tiff, Tuff, and Meta Knight pose on the Kabuki theater stage as the curtain closes in on this short special. Overall, the anime is very exciting to see Kirby appear, and Natalie decided that she would check out Kirby Right Back after she discovered that she got herself a Wendy's toy focusing on a keychain of Kirby on the Warp Star, and she liked it. She also explained that Gabe enjoyed it when he was 3, and he liked it. So, we give Kirby Right Back a perfect 5 out of 5. And according to Gabe, the Kirby series is a 7 out of 10. We hope you enjoyed the review!
Thanks for watching, everybody! What do you think? If you appreciate it, please be sure to super smash that like button, and also be sure to follow my social media platforms in the description below, and Team Lifelight's fandom channels. And be sure to follow my Instagram at Pikachu and Sonic222 and my DeviantArt. Please be sure to leave a comment below and give us your open-minded thoughts, and we here at Team Lifelight's fan dubs do not condone harassment or trolls allowed. Or otherwise, Red Howard from Comedy Central's The Red and Stimpy Show will hunt you down to the ends of the Shadow Realm. Please be sure to subscribe to our channels and click the notification bell. You'll never miss a video the second it goes live on YouTube and Google. Smartphone users, please be sure to press the button down there. And PC and laptop users, please be sure to click the subscribe button. Keep that in mind, and we'll see you all on the flip side. Bye-bye!
Final results.